All right. I think we are live. I'll just wait for the stream to fill up a little bit. And we're going to preview this fight. We did this last time. We did the Weight Watchers. I don't know if there's much demand for it this time because I think Eubank has made 160 seemingly much more comfortably this time. And all that's left to find out is whether or not he'll abide by the rehydration clause. So I'll be checking in on this stream to see if he does or not. And if he doesn't, then I might change my prediction. So it'd be good to know if he makes it or not. I'm sure he will. And I think this is live. I'm just making sure. Switch account. According to this, I'm not live. Interesting. Okay. It's private. That would explain that. All right. I had to mess around there a bit. I'm sure people will start coming on now. I had the stream on private. So now hopefully that will change and we'll start getting some people in. Yeah, there we go. We're now live. So that is good. So I'll start again. So the purpose of this stream is to preview the fight. I'll be live streaming for the fight later. And to see whether or not Eubank Jr. is going to do this this second day weigh-in. I think he will. I don't see any reason why he won't. Just a preview show, as it says in the title. We're very early, but I like to do a Saturday morning preview for these. Also, I want to see if Eubank Jr. makes this check weight weigh-in or not. I'm sure he will. But I thought, let's go live and preview the fight. People can ask questions. And we'll have a bit of a chat before the main thing. Why? Oh, yeah, that's not on. That's why. There's always something else to do. Always something else to do with this stuff. Gotta get my stream chat loaded. Should start populating in a minute. But good morning, everyone. For me, it is the evening time. I will soon be in my bed, preparing for what will be an interesting event, no doubt. Right now, my chat is not loading. Maybe I think I need to wait for more people to send messages and it'll start popping up. But yeah, my plan on this is to hopefully my sound keeps going off. Does it? Is my sound going off for people? I'll highlight that comment. See if, yeah, that's working. People, let me know if my sound's going off, because if it is, I may have to adjust it. But it should be. My mic's working. My sound levels are fine. No, it works perfect. All right, cool. It's just you, Robert, I'm afraid. Cool. Good stuff. Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, yeah, we're going to have a look at this fight. We're going to preview it on this stream. Any questions you've got, get them in, and I'll try and answer them the best I can. Because I know I've seen quite a few people, actually, as the fight gets closer, starting to pick Conor Benn. But, yeah, the big thing that I want to see this morning is really just that Eubank makes the check weight, to be fair. And then I can kind of finalize my pick. Because I wanted to... if those of you that have seen my prediction video... I picked Eubank on points, but I gave the caveat that, I think if he for some reason decided to ignore the check weight, the second day weigh-in weight, I would feel a lot more comfortable going potentially for a knockout pick for Eubank Jr. But no, we're just waiting to see. I think it was Dan Raphael who broke it last time, if I remember correctly. Hasn't broken anything yet, but I will keep my eyes on it to see what's happening. Christopher Londell says, if it's a Benn win to lock in a trilogy fight down the road when funds need topping up. There's been this narrative recently that people want that the powers that be will somehow gift Conor Benn a points decision because we need to set up a trilogy. I'm not convinced at all by that. I mean, I think the scoring on the ring cards has actually been quite good. I think if that was true, we would have seen Fury nicking one of those Usyk fights controversially. I've seen way clearer wins for fighters and then they didn't get the win before. I think about Crawford and Canelo. I think, I mean, the scorecards were much closer than they should have been, but I don't think there's too much to be worried about with the scorecards and stuff like that. I really don't. Zaltok Welny says, Chris looking way better than first. The thing is, mate, we didn't actually see any images. Well, we saw the weight cut, the video he put out, but when we saw him at the weigh-in, it was ceremonial, so we don't actually know what he looked like when he made the 160, although he obviously made it comfortably. He was almost a pound underweight, which is quite impressive. Big up Ricky Ellis, mate. I hope you're well. It's been a while. Am I doing a live tonight? I absolutely am doing a live tonight. I will schedule it before I go to bed. I just wanted to come on and, do a little preview stream, as we like to do before the fights. If they're on a Saturday night in the UK in particular, I like to jump on and talk the boxing with you guys. Do I think the fight will be more cagey as they won't want to make the same mistakes? I think my tactical preview centered around the idea that bringing Bomac in means that Eubank can be more of a counterpuncher in this fight and just be defensively sounder and just smarter with his feet. And so I definitely think that, I don't think I'd use cagey. I just think Eubank needs to be more patient. Is the sound actually dropping in and out, or is this just this one person that's saying this? Why would my sound be dropping in and out? I had another person say the same thing, but my microphone appears to be absolutely fine. So my internet's good. My levels are good. Okay, it's obviously just one person or two people that are getting it. It is dropping in and out for you. Huh. Just check the wires. No, they're all good. That's fine. Just check there's no other audio inputs. No. I don't know what that's all about, guys, but okay. Anyway, Mark Gilroy, big up. I hope you're good. Basically, my perspective is that Eubank, great, yeah, so if you're having issues with the sound, guys, refresh YouTube. My perspective is that Eubank will need to be more patient. Now, there's the idea that Conor Benn needs to be more patient. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that Benn is dependent on Eubank being drained because he's less sharp, less reactive, and can't move his legs as much. And in that sense, rushing him does make sense to do. But I do believe that if Ben's more patient, yeah, I mean, for me, with the patience thing with Ben, I just see him needing to get his feet need to be a bit closer before he lunges at times. Maybe lunge with a double jab, for example, a flicker jab. Change up the way you throw the right hand. Mix it up, vary the trajectory. But overall, I view it as it's all in Eubank's favor, technically and tactically, if he gets it right. That's my opinion. I actually think that Ben rushing him gives Ben more chance, but I think that Ben needs to just maybe be a bit more savvy with his feet, move around Chris a bit more, maybe just take Chris's jab away by maybe boxing on the back foot a little bit more at times and then lunge, like lunge in moments rather than constantly pouring forward. But he did a good job feinting last time, but I felt like he was a bit exaggerative with the feints. But yeah, if any of you want to get the fight, I've got a link in the description for DAZN. Helps to support the channel. And I will be live for the fight. So it'd be great to see as many of you there as possible. So let's see. I think your name is Boar Jaws. Do you think that all of this talk of Ben trying to use his boxing skills as a smokescreen, his intention is to plow into him and try to KO him? I mean, it doesn't really matter either way. Like if he does that, it was what he did last time, and Eubank will be more prepared for it. And if he tries to box Eubank, I don't know where this idea has come from that Ben can do it. I've never seen him box anyone before. Every fight I've watched Ben in, he lunges. So yeah, and to me, like the thing that's not really been spoken about is Ben hit him with his absolute best shots. He really was loading up. Absolutely cracked him with his best punches, and Eubank was all right. I think Eubank was just knackered, and obviously he was a bit hurt by those shots, but never looked like he was going to go down. Feed Me More Zone says Ben on Peds now, and he will win in 4 rounds tops. Maybe. I hope he's not on Peds, but obviously he's failed a test before, so it's possible. But that'd be a bit of a blow, wouldn't it? Definitely would give him a chance. Definitely give him more of a chance if he was on the old juice. David says, imagine a draw. Yeah, it's possible. I don't think it will happen because, well, I mean, it's obvious to say it won't happen. It's just an unlikely result, a draw. You know, I think there's a lot of chat around Eubank being not the fighter he once was. He's in decline a little bit, which is true, but also I think he can still box better than he did the last fight, in decline or not. You know, I am pretty confident in picking Eubank. But if he does lose, to me, it will be because of physical issues, whether that's from the rehydration issues that he's had, the difficulty of doing it at this age, having to hold a certain weight for a period of time with the rehydration clause, or that he's just not what he once was. That is also a complete possibility at the point he's at in his life. So, but it won't be based on at their best who's the better fighter. Like, for me, it's Eubank quite comfortably. So, yeah. Ben Hughes says, agreed. Let's be honest, since Ben has come off the juice, he hasn't been as good. Not trolling, just pointing out the obvious. I mean, there was a very clear moment in his career where suddenly he looked significantly more powerful. There's no doubt about that. And for most guys, that doesn't just happen overnight unless you've been assisted in some way. So whether or not he actually did it, we'll never really know. But given the failed test, given the way he suddenly became this, you know, absolute athletic monster, powering through guys. One of the reasons he's allowed to be reckless in the ring is because he is so athletic, and when he lunges, he's very powerful in the way he does it, very fast. But a good boxer can time it, for sure. Riyadh says, win or lose, Conor Benn needs to move back down to 147 as he is not built for 160. A lot more competition in welterweight for him, like Garcia, Barrios, Romero, and Pacquiao. Yeah, I mean, 147, he could go and win a title down at 147. I am slightly concerned that he'll have made so much money. Is the motivation really there to go back down to 147? I don't know, because the money won't be the same. There'll be some good money down there for him. Nothing like this, though. And suddenly he's going to have to make weight. Things are a little bit harder again. He's in more boxing matches. So yeah, I'm just having a look to see if there's any interesting. I've just seen this. Apparently, after the ceremonial weigh-in yesterday, Conor Benn weighed 167 and Junior weighed 165. So, yeah, I don't think that Ben's heavier than Eubank. I just think he's... I just think he didn't dehydrate as much this time. And I was so confused last time when he weighed in at 156. I thought that was so weird. I was like, why would you take off 4 pounds when you just need to be 160? And when he did the check weight the next day, he was 165. Why wouldn't you just be 159 or 160? It didn't make any sense to me. So I think he's probably the same size. He's just more hydrated this time. I thought that was really strange. Just have a quick look at Dan Raphael and see if there's any news on the check weight. Nothing yet. What do I think of the Joe Parker news? Pretty bizarre. Yeah, it is pretty weird. I can't imagine that doing a fat line right before you go and fight would be a great idea. I've never thought of that stuff as being particularly performance enhancing. I've heard some people saying it's a masking agent, but like that doesn't make any sense to me either, because why would you mask a performance enhancing drug with another drug that's already banned? So that doesn't really make sense either. Yeah, I'm aware of the 170 rehydration Remoni mode. I'm aware of that. Yeah, that's been a big part of my videos on the narrative building with the size and everything for Conor Benn. I think Ben's the same size now as he was when he weighed at 150 to fight Dobson. I don't think he's maybe a couple of pounds heavier, but not much at all. Predictions for Bam versus Puma next weekend. I don't have one. I've watched Bam plenty. I think he's great. I've not watched Puma, so I don't make predictions when I haven't studied. But Bam is fantastic, and this Puma dude's gonna have to be really good if he's gonna beat Bam. But one thing I will say about Parker was I did think he looked weirdly jovial when he came out for the fight. Remember he was like dancing to the ring, and then he got in the ring and he was like glaring down Wardley. Like, I'm not saying like he did a bump before he went in the ring, but like it was a bit strange, wasn't it? It was a bit weird. I don't know. Maybe he needed to get G'd up. It's just strange, isn't it? I do not understand it. Who else might have posted the check weight? I mean, what time is it now in the UK? 10:20 in the morning. So yeah, well, we should be getting the check weight results pretty soon, I think. But yeah, I mean, do you know what? We'll chuck a poll up and see what people are thinking right now. Eubank or Ben? Wait, who wins? I guess I'll put who wins. Because I think, like, I do think after yesterday, more people are leaning towards Ben a little bit. I was thinking about making a video about Parker, but honestly, that's just not really my style, you know? I don't really want to make a video about someone failing a test for coke. Jack Tapping says, I just got this from Eddie Hearn. If Parker did recreational Ds before the day of the fight, he won't get fined. It's only if they're done on the day of the fight. Right. Huh. That sounds weird. But like, didn't fine aside, like what about bans? Didn't Liam Cameron get banned for ages for that? Good morning, Mark. Hope you're doing well. Riyadh says Moses versus Franklin was announced not that long ago. Pretty boring fight, but he does need to get some rounds in. Yep. Yeah, I think Franklin's a good step up. Well, it is a minor step up, to be honest, whatever way you look at it. It's a step in the right direction, for sure. Without question. But, yeah, we're just going to keep looking on Twitter. I wish I had Ross. Ross was my guy last time who was on it with the socials, and he found the source that had it. He was just on it, refreshing all the pages and that, and he had it quickly. Because I have to check sporadically where he was checking, and then Ross, I think it's Turner is his surname, or Turnbull? Ross Turnbull, I think it is. Scotty says, I'm a big Eubank fan and want Eubank to win, but I didn't think he looked confident in the last presser. I mean, he was pretty dehydrated still, I would guess, so I think he's probably just subdued until he's refueled as much as he can. I would suggest. Good morning to the surf. Good morning. I really need to see Ben lose. Well, we've already seen him lose, so you know, if you need to see him lose again, maybe you have a personal issue with him. A lot of people don't want him to win, but I think more people want. I think he might win now than before, which is interesting. I think the tide has turned a little bit on that, to be fair. What time's the weigh-in, says Argyle. I'm not sure. It was around this time last time, though. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I'll be on for about 40 minutes, then I've got to get to bed so I can get up for my actual coverage of the fight in the morning. But I should think that we'll have news fairly soon about the weights. And, you know, just to be clear, guys, with the check weight, the thing is, it's not so much that I think Eubank really gets a lot bigger than 170. I think he's like 175. It's more that you've got to keep yourself depleted for longer and you've got less time to rehydrate properly for the fight. That's what worries me about those same day check weight weigh-ins. You know, they're a bit dodgy if you ask me, to say the least. I'm not really a fan. Don't think many of us are though. Scotty says, Liam Cameron may have been using to lose weight, though it's a ped for a heavyweight. That doesn't make sense. I mean, to be fair, it does, because heavyweights still need to be a certain weight. Like, they can't be too heavy. And Parker was pretty heavy, so maybe he was like, oh, snap, I'm too heavy. I need to take some weight off. But then you just use Ozempic, I guess. I don't know. I don't think anyone would really use that for weight loss. But I'm not that versed on that particular ped. Ped? It's not even a ped. That recreational drug, we'll call it. In terms of it being used in sport, it doesn't really make sense to me. Joshua Heath thinks Eubank is stopping Ben this time. Brickhouse Capital says, Henry, top of the morning to you, Squire. With regards to Joseph Parker, I don't believe he did it intentionally. His character suggests that he is a person of high morals and integrity. Wait and see. It's quite an interesting narrative that's been going around. A lot of people saying, oh, Parker's this great guy. It's not in his character, blah, blah, blah. I mean, don't we all know great people that have done that stuff? I don't think it means anything about him as a person if he's done that stuff. And just be realistic. Like, even if you think he's more wholesome than that or whatever, everyone's full of contradictions. Like, people are not as straightforward as that. To say someone's a great person doesn't mean they don't do something messed up or something stupid or something that some people would frown upon or that the law might frown upon. You know, I don't think we can know what Joseph Parker has to do with that kind of stuff based on the fact he seems like a really nice guy. I just don't think that's the right way to look at it, but that's just my opinion. This comment here, no good for weight loss. Look at Fury. Yeah, I think he put weight on in that period. I saw some quite funny comments there where people were like, oh, it's because he was too close to Fury when he was getting his hands wrapped. Mad. The cards from Eddie was an elite move. I can't lie. You're talking about the Love Actually cue cards that he was holding up. I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. It didn't really please me particularly one way or the other. I just thought it was fine. I think it was Dan Raphael last time who posted when the weights were made, but he's not posted anything yet. So we will keep looking. And I know, you know, it's really interesting, guys. You can tell this fight's not as big as the last one because I had 10,000 people total. I think at one time we had maybe 500 or something, maybe 800 total people on the stream last time when we were checking to see what the weight was going to be. This time it's only like 200 people. So, yeah, this fight doesn't feel as big as the first one, does it? It really doesn't. I think the last one was a special occasion. I think we all felt like we'd seen enough. But I'm a sucker for the boxing, man. I need to see this fight tomorrow. Like, I can't miss it because I just love it. I love all the drama and all the action. And ultimately, when you think about these fights as much as I do, when you study, when you really try and think about what's going to happen, you just want to see if what you have in your head is actually what comes out in the ring. So it's funny. Big up Paul Cook in Perth, Australia. Big up from Melbourne. Myself, mate. Eubank knocks out Ben within 8. Potentially. I do think that the point he's at in his career and the weight restrictions, I just worry that it's not going to give him the energy he needs to really push the issue home. And like, as I say, Eubank Jr., never a really big single punch knockout guy. He's always been a combination puncher who, through accumulation of shots, takes guys out. At every point in his career, that's kind of been the case, unless he fought someone who wasn't that punch resistant. So yeah. But everyone's losing it over this Joseph Parker thing. It is big news and it is surprising. But yeah. Who else might share? Any ideas, anyone, where we might find if these weight's I suppose Matchroom's probably worth checking. Let's have a look at Matchroom. 1 hour ago. They've not posted anything about the weights yet. What about Boxer? Have they posted anything about the weights? Boxer. Interesting that Boxer haven't really been that involved in this promotion. It's been a bit weird. It's just been like Matchroom and Ring Magazine dominated, hasn't it? Very strange. What about Eubank Jr.? He doesn't really post stuff, does he? Well, not on Twitter. Oh, no, he does. Okay, fine. Yeah, so maybe. Maybe. Let's have a look at some comments. Hola, David. Big up, my friend. Hope you're good. DMC says, Reparko could have used it to mask just because it looks better to be busted for coke than peds. Maybe, but like I say, like, why would you... At that point, you'd be like, oh, I'm getting busted. Otherwise, you wouldn't bother with that logic. You just would try not to get caught for anything. I don't think you'd go, oh, well, I might as well just get caught for that when it could be a 2-year ban. That makes no sense. I heard about this. Someone pointed me in the direction of a story from 2021 regarding Joe and smuggling. I did hear a story that he was implicated with some kind of international drug ring. And I don't think there was enough evidence to actually charge him with anything. Need to read about it, really, if I'm going to do the research properly. But yeah, there was some stuff about that. So maybe he's mixing with some interesting people. I did just say I'm in Melbourne, Richard. That is where I live. I live here in Melbourne. I've lived here for about 1.5 years. So my time zone's all messed up. But it's good for boxing because I get UK fights early morning Sunday. I get the US fights afternoon on Sunday. And when you all go to sleep, I work through your night to make my nice videos, my nice highly produced reaction videos, and I kind of get a little advantage on it, I guess, UK people, because they got to release it later in the day. So, I mean, some people can release their videos when I do, but they're not, edited and all that sort of thing. So, I'm very bloody dehydrated today. What are your thoughts on Parker popping? I mean, we've just been talking about it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm open-minded. I think he could well have done it, but also he could have not done it. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything based on what I perceive his character to be. Oh. Mike Coppinger might post. Let's have a look at Mike Coppinger. Yeah, nothing from Coppinger. I think it was Dan Raphael last time. I'm almost certain it was Dan Raphael last time who was posting about it. Yeah, it definitely was. Let's see if he's done any replies yet. Nope. Nothing yet. Daniel Ebert says, have you changed your mind about Misfits? I don't remember what I said the last time, but I don't think I've got any new opinions on it. What do you think I think about Misfits? Soulstart says, how are you finding is what you mean, the difference of UK and Australia? I'm UK based. The difference is that it's just a bit better in most ways. Most people are a bit more laid back. I live in Melbourne. The city here is awesome. Like, I think this is a city that the UK really lacks, where it's not London. It's a lot nicer, in my opinion, on average. Like, it's consistently nice. And it's still expensive, but it's like a lot cheaper than London would be, for example. I just feel like it's got a really great balance of stuff here. It's a very livable city. And I don't know. It's just a good vibe, man. It's just good. It's just good. It's similar to Bristol, Alex, but I've been to Bristol and I didn't want to live there that much, so so maybe a bit different. I don't know. I've not been to Bristol for a long time, to be fair. Scotty says, Skybet has an offer on Ben to win 70-1, maximum stake £1. Maximum stake. Big up, Matthew. I hope you're well, mate. He says, if you're a real Melbourne boy, you'd stop worrying about Eubank Ben and start talking about the Metro Tunnel open days. Can't wait for that, mate. Although I know someone who works for the train company, and apparently loads of pigeons have got into the tunnels and shit everywhere. So it's not going to be the squeaky clean stations that I guess people were expecting. Riyadh says, Jake Paul at it again, embarrassing the sport. Going from 135-pound Tank Davis to a 250-plus pound Anthony Joshua. I don't think Jake Paul's embarrassing the sport. I think the sport is embarrassing itself. That someone like Jake Paul can swan in and, create this ecosystem for himself and be ranked and all this shit. It's just absolutely nuts. And yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have a problem with Jake Paul fighting people. I just think people need to realize it is what it is. Don't judge him until he fights an actual active boxer. The reason I've not made a video about Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, and I have quite a lot to say about it actually, so I will do one if it gets announced. But that is why I haven't made the video, because it hasn't been announced, and I will still be quite surprised if the fight actually happens, because for me it's not a question of whether or not Anthony Joshua wins or wins by knockout. It's a question of, can Jake Paul actually come out of that fight healthy? How much damage will Joshua do to him? Will he give him life-changing injuries? Could he potentially unalive him? That's the question for me. There's nothing else to say about it. So if he does it, people say, oh, you've got to respect him. He's got balls for doing it. Well, all it says to me is that the dude likes money a lot. Yeah. I've heard many a man say they get punched in the face by Anthony Joshua for £1 million. I think a lot of people would actually get in the ring and spar Anthony, like competitive spar Anthony Joshua for 50 million quid. Hell, I'd get in the ring with Anthony Joshua and let him knock me out for 50 million quid probably. So, it's not that surprising really, but it would be to an extent the end of the gravy train for Jake Paul, I suppose. So there's that. But apparently it would be an actual fight where it would go on their records and everything. Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fumble the Fury fight as well. It would really tarnish his legacy. So if it's not an exhibition fight, there's no reason for him not to go in there and smash Jake Paul if he can. And it's only, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, have you changed your mind about competing in Misfits? No, I'm still not interested in competing in Misfits. That's funny. I forgot about that. I Am Odyssey says, seems like I'm in the minority predicting a Benn win. Could be proven wrong, but I just think that first fight would have taken so much out of Eubank. Could be wrong and excited for the fight. I mean, that's just an impossible thing to predict. We've got no signs or anything that anything has been taken out of Eubank. He also finished the fight strong, even though I think people are confusing like effort versus... How do I articulate this? When someone gets on the chest of their opponent and slings those little slappy arm punches like Eubank was, it's not as energy sapping as it looks. Yes, it requires a great degree of stamina to be able to do it, but because he was the bigger man, all he had to do was lean close to Benn and smother him, and then all the way in safer than all the way out. What's more impressive to me is when someone can maintain their shape and continue to box and continue to counter and try and land big, clean, technically good punches. So Eubank, don't make any mistake, was spent at the end of that fight. But yeah, we have no idea what's been taken out of Eubank. Absolutely no idea. Oh, is EV Boxing in it? Hello, May. How are you? I've got a special collaboration coming with EV Boxing. We did something. We did a thing together, and I'm sorry that it's not out yet, but it turned into a bigger project than I was intending it on being. I wanted the video because I knew I wasn't going to get it done in time, so I was like, right, let me make this more of a thing. So there will be something coming with me in EV Boxing very soon. It will be very cool, I hope. And you're all going to love it. So keep an eye out for that. And go and subscribe to EV Boxing if you haven't done yet, because the guy is killing it. In fact, you probably already subscribed to him. But if you haven't, then you know what to do. Big up Mr. Grandy in the chat, as ever. Every single damn time. Ghost on YouTube, 201X says, I don't think the weight cut is as bad as Eubank makes it, to be fair. There is UFC cutting from 210 to fight at 185. Yeah, the concern for me with Eubank isn't that he cuts a dramatic amount of weight. It's making 160 at this point in his career. I reckon he's probably about 175, maximum 180 in the ring. So he's cutting 15 to 20 pounds, which is a realistic weight cut, but not for someone who is towards the end of their career, has been at 160 a lot, also been at 168. So, you know, he's a big 160. And for me, it's not so much the one. I never worried that much about him making 160. For me, it's always been about the rehydration clause and having to maintain that state of dehydration for longer. And I know that he's not fully dehydrated. He's regained some of the fluids and stuff. But, you know, can you imagine you're on the morning of a fight and still having to maintain your weight overnight? I just, for me, that's the issue. But it does appear that he's done the weight better this time. I heard someone saying there was some rumors that he was sick before the last fight. And he never told anyone about it. So that is also possible, that he was ill. It meant he didn't make the weight as well. So yeah, it's possible. Enjoy the arsehole comparison. I do not remember. I don't know what that's about. But maybe something I missed in the chat. London tours and events. Looks like Eubank has made the weight much more gradually and sensibly this time. Still sticking to my forecast of a much more technical fight and a possible real draw or judging error draw. If it's more technical, I think it suits Eubank down to the ground. I think Conor Benn rushing him is how Ben has a chance of doing well in this fight. Everyone's saying Ben needs to box him more. I've never seen Ben box that well, so I don't see him being able to do it. He's also smaller. Yeah. Stuart Barnes says apparently the weigh-in is at 11. Oh, right. Well, I don't know where you saw that, mate, but if it is, then, well, all right. Well, it's in 15 minutes, yeah. So we will, we'll wait for it. Hopefully they get it done a little bit earlier. 11 seems kind of late in the day for the check weight weigh-in, though. Where did you see that, Stuart? Evie says, I feel like people picking Ben just have a feeling. There's not really any concrete reasons to pick him. Yeah, it's pure speculation that Eubank slipped, basically, and there's all this idea of like Ben boxing better and going in with a different game plan and all that sort of stuff. But like, yes, there is theoretically he could do that, but there's no evidence to suggest he's capable of doing that. So, yeah, I'm not convinced. And I actually think, like I said in my prediction video, I actually think that if Ben tries to box, he'll be more patient trying to enter the pocket. And I actually think that Eubank will just pick him off even more so. That's my opinion. Kenny Senior Explorer says, hello, Henry. Off topic, what's it like in Oz for living? I'm a kitchen fitter thinking about leaving the UK. Do it, mate. What have you got to lose? Come out here, you know, I don't know how old you are, but if you're young enough, you can get your working holiday visa. You just come out, live here for a few years. If you like it, you can figure out how to stay. Do it, mate. It's great. Oz is great. The only issue is it's so far from home, and I do miss my family and friends a lot. But outside of that, I don't question being here in any way, except for the fact it's so far from home. And but I've not lived in the UK now for a few years, so you know, I'm kind of over that hump, I suppose, of getting used to not being there. But I was ready to leave for a long time, to be honest. So yeah. Dylan, I think it's Dylan Arkle says, the check weigh is always a window in which they're allowed to weigh when they want within. I think, okay, there's a window they can weigh in, basically. Yeah, fair. That's what you mean. Bourgeois says, see a lot of pros picking Ben. Are they just doing that on a feeling? Yeah, I think a lot of it's to do with, you know, speculation that Eubank's slipped a lot now. And yeah, I think... I also think a lot of them are on the payroll, and a lot of them are trying to make hype the fight. I'm not saying they're wrong, but I don't see why. I've not heard a good reason to pick Ben outside of we think Eubank slipped, but they've got no evidence to believe Eubank slipped. So it's like it would have been like picking Dubois to beat Usyk based on the fact that Usyk has slipped. There was no reason to believe Usyk had slipped. So let me just check Dan Raphael again. Nope, still nothing from Dan. And I'm going to just check one more. Check the Ring magazine. Nothing yet. Anything from Matchroom? Not yet. Anything from Boxer? Boxer haven't been very active, have they? Anything from Eubank? Negative. So we will continue to wait and see if Eubank is going to make this check. Because if Eubank, just to be clear, if Eubank did just ignore the rehydration clause, I'd be quite confident picking him to win by stoppage, actually. But we'll see. Otherwise, I'm just going for the same result, Eubank on points. But the reason my video said that it would be a different fight is because I think Eubank will make it easier if he gets it right with Bomac. I do think that. One new me says, why did you want to leave the UK so much? Interesting to know the reasons. I just didn't want to live anywhere in particular in the UK. I didn't fancy living in London again. I'd done it for a little bit and I didn't really like it that much. It was all right. I was born there and stuff, but my mum's from London and I did do a year there. I did a master's in law there actually. But just didn't ever appeal to me going back. And I don't know. I like better weather. I don't know why I picked Melbourne if I wanted better weather because the weather is not great. But I was ready to go off and have an adventure and just live life a little bit, see more of the world. Yeah. And coming to Melbourne, I feel like it's a city the UK really lacks. I do. But no real like major reasons. But I was definitely happy to get away and have an adventure, basically. And you know, I think the salaries here are a little bit higher. The rent's a little bit lower. Most things are slightly higher quality, and the country of Australia is amazing. I need to explore it more. I've not had time yet. I've been working my ass off since I moved here. But yeah, having a YouTube channel which isn't your main thing, but you try and treat it that way is quite time consuming. But I hope this will be an investment sort of worthwhile for the future. So yeah. Daz Payne says Bellew is so Matchroom heavy. Oh, 100%. 100%. I saw him being asked if the Jake Paul versus Joshua fight should be sanctioned, and he just refused to answer. He was just like, oh, my opinion doesn't matter. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard him say his opinion doesn't matter. I've never seen someone who thinks their opinion matters more. Don't mean that in a negative way. It's just he likes to give his opinion. But he won't say anything against AJ or Hearn because he's their boy, and fair enough. But just know what he is when you're listening to him. Matthew says, if anyone wants to know about Australia, look up average cost of living regards rent, home buy, look up our median wage for your industry. The way-in is being a job type in demand or a student. Yeah, or just get a working holiday visa if you're young enough. I'm still on that right now, so. Alex McCann says, Worthy my gut says Ben, but brain says Eubank. Interesting. I think we always get that, though, before a fight. Like, if your brain says one thing, your gut does start to maybe think the opposite. A little bit. We've spoken quite a bit, Alex, about the positive Parker test. I'll repeat myself. I don't have an opinion on it. I think anyone could do anything, really. That sounds a bit, like, bleak, but just because he seems like a really nice bloke, a really wholesome bloke, it doesn't mean he doesn't do that stuff. So, I don't know. Evie says, I heard Showbiz saying something along the lines of, if Ben just boxed and moved, he would have 100% won. In what world does Ben have a better jab? Yeah. And, you know, if my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle. You know what I mean? It's one of them. It's like, you could say anything about anyone and manifest a truth. I don't think that, you know, just saying if Ben did this, he could win when Ben has never done that before. And also, Eubank has the bigger reach. I don't think Ben's got better feet than Eubank. I mean, I think he has he's more explosive, Ben, but I think Eubank is as good of a mover. They're very different movers. I wouldn't even compare them in that sense. But I've seen Eubank use very good lateral movement before in the ring. Circle his opponent well, ping his jab well, maintain his balance. I mean, I think Eubank's feet over the years have actually been quite poor at times, but then I have seen him use them appropriately. I just think Bomac in the camp, go and look at the way Eubank approached the Liam Smith rematch. I thought he was superb in that fight. Liam Smith's injury aside, or not, just go and look at the way Eubank actually did his business in there. excuse me, if he boxes like that, then Ben's in for a really hard night. But I do worry about his energy levels at this point. So yeah. Do you feel that boxing paternity? Do you mean boxing fraternity, the stuff? And fans have given Ben's failed drugs test, forgiven Ben's failed drug test, or has Ben made his public image perception worse for himself? I think the longer time goes on, the more people sort of overlook that stuff, especially when you're getting big fights. Like everyone just wants to see good big fights. So yeah, my opinion is very much that like the longer time goes on, the less people will think about the failed test. It's like Canelo. No one talks about it anymore, really. So yeah, everything blows over in time, like that sort of thing. But yeah, it's one of them. And I think the heart and guts he showed in that first fight, cheat or not, people respect that, you know. We're waiting for the weight still, MH. Let me have another quick look and see what's happening on the old Twitter sphere. I'm never going to stop calling it Twitter. Nothing from Dan yet. Maybe Coppinger. Coppinger got anything for us? No. By the way, what is this Box Raw sparring club all about? It looks like basically just guys having hard sparring with a crowd, which is only a couple of steps away from being a competitive thing that fighters should charge money for. Like, you shouldn't really do that for free, I don't think, if you're a fighter. But what do I know? Like, they spar, of course, but like with a crowd, that's kind of a different thing. It's like you're kind of giving them access to something that they would typically be paying to see. It's quite an interesting thought, isn't it? Yeah, nothing on the weights just yet. Thank you very much, Nicholas Silva, who says my videos are very good. I do appreciate it. We're working hard. Strange Exchange says, yeah, I don't think Ben can box. He's never shown he can anyway. Eubank's definitely the better boxer. I think it's an easier night this time around. Yeah, if he keeps his concentration and he counters well and he follows Bomack's game plan, then yes, I can see how he can make it easier for himself. But equally, you know, the reason that he didn't continue boxing last time was because he really gassed in the ring, and I think he had to get close and he had to maul him and use his size to make himself safe. So it's one of them. It's quite complicated, actually. But I do feel this fight's got a lot less hype, I have to say. Mashford, hello, mate. How are you? He says, hello, Henry. How are you doing, my boy? Glad to see this channel blowing up. Sorry, I'm glazing. Do you think Nick Ball and Inoue will fight next year? I think Inoue will fight Nakatani. And I hope he fights Nakatani, because if he does, I'm going to do everything I can to find a sponsor to send me to Japan. And I'll make the sickest travel video ever, going to Japan to watch Inoue against Nakatani. That would be so good. So if anyone out there wants to sponsor me to do that, and you happen to be listening right now, then get in touch with me, because I'm pretty sure after, what's his name, Picasso or something, Inoue's fighting. Once he gets him out of the way, I'm sure that'll happen. It's a super fight. They're around the same weight. It would be huge for Japanese boxing. It makes all the sense in the world. Feed Me More Zone says, Eubank will be too weak in the fight. He won't be able to take the shots. I mean, he took them last time. Unless he's significantly deteriorated, he should be able to take them again. So I guess we'll see. But I think that he will take less shots this time, because I think he will be more disciplined with his guard. I do. I really do. You know, so many of those shots came from right hands over the jab. You know, I think that Eubank wanted to carry that lead hand low to coax Conor Benn to throw the right hand, but he didn't get his timing for a while. So he ate a lot before he started landing his own right hand. What do I think of Benavidez Yard? I think it's a really exciting fight. I think that I need to, you know, I've not had time to study it properly. I hope I'll get time before the weekend. I'm not sure I will. I will make some videos for it. I just don't know if I'm going to get the chance to actually, I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to study it the way I want to, but I will make a video about it. At the very least, I'll do a story video for the fight. And I think, yeah, I think that Yard has a chance early. That's what I would say. Oh, that's dope, mate. Thank you for doing that. London Tours and Events has gifted 10 memberships, which is sick. So a bunch of people that are in the live right now, I think they're in the live right now, have been gifted memberships. That's awesome, bro. Thank you very much for doing that. Really appreciate it. It goes a long way. Hey, Henry, how close would you say you are to fight weight or fighting condition? Me, personally, I'd probably need an 8-week camp. I reckon. I'm not unfit. I train. I'm actually going through a rehab training program at the minute, though, because I am overmobile. And it's something I've never really got to grips with. Like, when I run, I get really bad blisters on my feet, and I get a fair amount of injuries in my hips and stuff. So at the minute, I'm working with a physio to go through this sort of like base strength building program. And then at the end of 6 weeks, I'm going to start running again. I've not run in a few years because I used to get plantar fasciitis really bad. One of the reasons because for a while I've been thinking about doing like some kind of train like a pro series where I just see how good I can get, basically. Just go into gyms, spar guys, increase the sparring levels, train. I'd love to do it, but I just know at the moment that my body will not hold up. I get horrendous feet cramps. So, yeah, I do want to do it, but right now I'm just kind of trying to get my body right. But I am also getting older, so it might be too late, but we'll see. But I also think there's something to be said for, like, you're over the age of 30. How good can you get? Mate, thank you so much for doing that. It's very kind. You're a legend. I don't even know how the gifted thing works exactly, but it's cool. Mate, yeah, he's loving it. Oh, so hey, mate. Wait, is your name Wojciech? I can't remember how to say your name. Is it Wojciech? I can't remember, but I think I know who you are. Hey, mate. There is that leak calendar card that has Monster and Big Bang on May page, right? I'd love that travel. What are you talking about? What is this? Can you send me a link for this? I don't know what you're talking about. Be good to see Zhang out though, if indeed he is. Yeah, the Japan video would be sick. I've got to do it, man. I don't know who I'm going to get to sponsor me. I don't know who's going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but I have to make it happen because it will be so good. And I am, I ain't just a YouTuber who sits here. I'm a video producer. That's what I do. So if I go and make a travel video, it will be legit. We'll do it properly. Wilson T says Eubank for me more convincing. But Mixmaster Dodger says don't rule out a Ben victory via scorecard robbery. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate those gifted memberships. That's very kind of you. A guy called Henry versus Jake Paul 2026. Set it up. He's way too big for me. I'm not a big guy. I'm not a big man. I'm like a little bit under 5. I'm like 5'8", 5'9", somewhere between the two. So I'm not a tall person. I think I weigh about 75 kgs right now. So, yeah. I'm like within my range for how much I should weigh. But I could definitely go on a bit of a cut. I could definitely go on a little bit of a cut. Nothing crazy though. Tiger Duran says, did you train boxing as a kid? No, I got into boxing later. And I kickboxed when I was a kid, actually. But I stopped when I was like 14. I went off to school. And then I didn't get into boxing really till my mid to late 20s. So, and I've only recently become part of a gym properly. Like, I used to go and hit pads all the time. Me and my mates would train. I used to film pros and they'd hold pads for me and give me sessions and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd like get on the bag and I'd sort of like try and work things out myself, watch videos and that sort of thing. But right now I've been part of a gym for nearly a year and it's great. I enjoy it a lot. And just always trying to learn, Damn, I thought you were 6 foot at least. Alas, no. Although I can't say my height's ever been an issue. It's never held me back, so I don't have a problem with it. I obviously carry myself like a 6-foot man, which is very encouraging, you know, very telling. My style. I'm going to say what everyone says. I'm a boxer puncher. It's so I did hear about it, mate. I did hear about it. Could be it could be anything. Yeah, Daniel says still loads of tickets left. We'll bag on for about a $5 in a couple hours. I did hear that Turkey Al Sheikh was giving tickets out to London cab drivers, like 2,000 of them. So yeah, there must be loads left still. And I'm quite surprised that oh, the wait's out, is it, Matthew? Where'd you get that from? Who's posted that? Is it Dan Raphael? Oh, there we go. Eubank's posted it. Let's get this up. Here we go. He's bang on weight. Let me get this up. I'm going to drop it in the stream for you guys so you can see it. One second. So he has made the check weight. There we go. Picture of him on the scales. He is 169.9, bang on. Eubank has made the weight. And we got a fight. So I'm sticking with my prediction of Eubank on points again, but I do think he'll be more comfortable this time. It'll be wider. I already thought it was pretty wide, but I think he'll be more comfortable. I don't think he'll take as much punishment this time. I think Ben will find it hard. I might be very wrong, but that's what I think will be the case. Make that a bit smaller, so we can still see Mike in his Scotland shirt. Yeah, interesting. Well, get any more questions you have in before I go, because I'm just going to change the name of the stream quickly. Eubank Jr. makes 170. So yeah, he's gone for it again. His toenail grew back, says Mr. Grandy. Only just, mate. Only just. What do I think of Aaron McKenna? He looks talented. He does look good. Issa says, you might want to do a video on the Parker situation, because I remember he got accused by New Zealand authorities of being affiliated with a drug running gang. The thing is, man, like, I like to make videos about fights and about tactics. I like to look at the weight. I like to look at things that contribute to the outcome of a fight, right? It's an interesting thing that's happened to Joseph Parker, but it's not really my style. If there's a good story there, then I would definitely make a video about it. But right now, it just very much seems like a breaking news case. Joseph Parker's been involved in stuff apparently, allegedly before. And whilst I know I'd get views if I make it, I'm not just all about the views. So I think I want to get views making quality boxing content, making stuff that sort of helps us to understand who might do well in a fight, what the outcome of a fight's going to be. So yes, it'd be nice to get the views, but I don't love boxing gossip that much. And boxing, but it is a failed test. So like, yeah, it's kind of up in the air. I might do it. We shall see. I think also it was the timing of it. Like, I knew Eubank Ben was coming up. I got a bunch of videos to make for next week. I also needed to have one day off, which I haven't even had because I'm working this evening now. But yeah, it's just one of them. Tiger Duran says, if Parker gets a heavy ban, then I imagine Henry might make a video, but a video on one headline isn't enough. Yeah, I mean, look, I might do it. I don't know. Let's just see. It's one of them. I don't love talking about that stuff, but there might be a good enough story that make me want to do it. Mr. Grandy asking if I have punching power. I can punch for my weight. I know I can because I've had a few pros take me on the pads, and they have confirmed to me that I am not a Paulie Malignaggi, so that's good. I've never had a fight, so no, I've never KO'd anyone in the ring. Chris Kelly, honestly, it's hardly performance-enhancing drug effect. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of competing thoughts and whatnot with the performance-enhancing thing. We don't know why he would do it. So yeah, this is a good question. Ninjas Rose says, if you got a call to be a pundit or commentator, would you take it? I think it's a matter of time. Well, I'm not trying to become one, but I want to grow my channel. You know, I want to get this as big as I can, and definitely getting on a mainstream broadcaster for a period of time would help a lot. And it would be fun. I'd enjoy it, and I would travel to do it. So me being here in Australia is not an issue for me. The thing is that I'm not gonna paint any narratives or anything like that. I will call what I see. I'll be objective. That's the most important thing to me. It's what boxing needs is more objectivity. Present the facts, and then I'll give you my opinion based on the facts. I'm never going to be unfair. I always try and just call it as I see it. And I'll always try and have an educated opinion. With regards to being a pundit or whatever in the mainstream media, I would only do it if I got to be like an analyst, maybe a commentator, you know, someone, you know, the second commentator or whatever. I don't think I could be a lead commentator, I suppose, but I never really thought of that. But like, I wouldn't want to do what like Ade, for example, he's a brilliant presenter. But I'm of the opinion that if you are an interviewer or a presenter, you have to really try and be neutral and impartial so that fighters feel comfortable opening up to you. Whereas I don't think you can wear both hats. I think it's kind of impossible. So if I did it, I want to be purely like analyzing stuff, breaking things down. So if I could do that, then definitely I'd be very interested. But I wouldn't be interested in just being like another host or something like that. So is my answer. But I'm open to having conversations if anyone wants to hire me. So yeah, no one's reached out to me yet. I did actually get reached out to a while ago by one broadcaster, but that never went anywhere. So I don't know how legit that was. I'm about 75 kgs right now, gingerbread copping. And I'm between like 5'8", 5'9". So I'm not a giant man. Don't mess with Paulie's side piece. Exactly. Apart from Atalma, who's your best prospect in UK boxing at the moment? In UK boxing? I'm not really sure. I'd have to have a think about that one. I feel like Adam Azim's obviously thought of quite highly. Someone down there's just put Hamza Shiraz and Adam Azim. I don't really know. I know there's that other heavyweight that Matchroom signed. I think there's Pat Brown, who people talk about, but I haven't studied these guys enough, and they've not fought anyone yet for us to really know. So, yeah, I honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. Absolute Boxing, hello, says Henry. What is your schedule of recording, editing, and all that? As a creator myself, I'm trying to figure out how to make content more consistently. I don't really have a set schedule. I should. It would be a lot better for YouTube if I did, because then people would know when to get what kinds of videos from me. It would probably help my views a lot. But because I work for myself, it's quite difficult to know exactly how my client work's going to go. So it's difficult to be that consistent with my schedule. I need to be flexible for them. So I just know the kinds of videos that I make now in the build up to a fight, and I try and fit them all in somehow, basically. But I'm pretty fast. So it takes me probably, let's say, like for a tactical breakdown video, I need to if there's something wrong with your live, mate, I'm fine, so just refresh the stream. But for a tactical breakdown video, I need to study for a few days at least. I need to like watch a lot of stuff, really study, slow things down, all that kind of thing. So for that sort of thing, I need to study and all that. But then for other videos where I already know the topic well and all that sort of thing, I can literally sit down, work out what I'm going to say roughly, put a few bullet points down, and I don't script it. I just sit and I talk. I just talk off the top of my head with my little bullet points, so I keep myself on track. And yeah, I can make a whole video in like 5 hours, something like that. SO Live and Direct says, I'm an econ grad and I want to work in boxing, but not too sure what lane to go down or even how to enter the scene. If you can give advice. I mean, I'm not really in the scene, mate. I'm just doing a YouTube channel, but I know how to do YouTube. I'm a video person. I like did a master's degree in communications and content. I learned how to use cameras. I learned how to edit. I started making my own stuff. I was a big boxing fan. I saw a gap to do content in boxing. I did interviews with fighters and stuff. That was a long time ago now. If you ever want to go and check out my interview, guys, if you type in 3 gifts with Carl Frampton, that was my crowning achievement as an interviewer. I created this interview format. I loved it. Everyone loved it. The fighters loved it, but it was too hard. The work was too much work for me for zero reward. So time consuming, but it was cool. I was really pleased with that. It was like an off the cuff, this is your life type of thing. Like, or if anyone knows Nardwar, it was like a Nardwar style interview for boxing. So that was good fun, but ultimately it's not sustainable. So basically but yeah, I'm a video content creator, and then I didn't know how to do YouTube in a way where it would like grow and make money and do well. So I ended up moving to Bali, and when I was in Bali, I met a load of amazing content creators, and one of them I became really, really good mates with. One of my best friends, George Benson, who makes videos for Chelsea, and we had a studio together. And I got to see how George worked. I got to see how a guy called Lawrence Benson worked. He does TikTok videos in Indonesia. He's like got 4 million followers. Basically got to see a bunch of these guys, how they worked. And I got to understand YouTube by watching them. I was like, right, that's how you do it. I know how to make videos. I know about boxing, but I don't know how to do YouTube. And now I know how to do YouTube. And that's why I'm where I am. So if you want to get into boxing specifically, try and get a job for one of the promoters. But it depends. I don't know, man. I don't know what your skill set is. So yeah, it's long and short of it is you've got to figure out what role you want to perform, go and get your skills, and then go and approach and just try and make as many contacts as you can. But boxing is a wildly accessible sport. But my goal is to be able to do my channel because I love it. This is what I like doing. This is me. I like this. But I would also like to do some broadcast stuff if it comes up. So send your analysis vids to whoever is booking Kellerman. I'll let you guys do that for me. I think it's a bit cocky. No worries, mate. Fave boxer. I don't really have favorite boxers. Everyone knows that I support Dave Allen as a fan. He's great. Yeah, he's a great guy, isn't he? I just support him, but but my favorite boxer, I mean, I'm a great admirer of what Crawford can do in the ring. I think he's phenomenal. So I think he's a modern day great. And Usyk as well. But I don't have bias towards them. I just try and break down what they do, and I'm immensely impressed. Do you know what? Actually, this is a good one. Someone I'm just so impressed by is Teofimo Lopez. Like, I watch him, and I look at him, and I sort of look at him, and I go, this guy breaks every rule in the book. He's so damn athletic. He does stuff that you should not be able to do in the ring. He squares up. He's dancing about. But he's just ridiculously athletic and talented. He's so special. I don't know if he beat Shakur Stevenson or not. Ryan Hong has just posted Teofimo beat Shakur. I don't know if he beat Shakur, but I just know he shouldn't be able to do some of the things he does. He shouldn't be able to get away with them, and he can because he's so athletic. He amazes me. But yeah, doesn't mean he's going to win though. Scotty C said, would you ever consider reaching out to Dave Allen and asking for an interview? I've asked Dave to come on the channel a few times, and he's just hard to get hold of, so I've just kind of stopped. If you guys want Dave to come on the channel, you're going to have to start DMing Dave and asking for it, because he's a busy guy, and he's difficult. He's difficult to get to lock down. So yeah, if you guys want to see me and Dave Allen collab, you need to start hollering at him for it, because yeah, he's impossible. But if you want to see me work with Dave Allen, go and watch Coach Allen, which is on my channel, which was a documentary I did with Dave back in 2019. I went and met with him in Glasgow, and I filmed with him for a day, and it was one of the most fun days I've ever had filming anything. It was so much fun, and the guy he's a special guy. He's a special guy. I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, brilliant. So much fun. But that, that's ultimately what I'd like to get back to as well, guys. And I want to make documentaries again eventually. Not necessarily even boxing ones. Like, I'd love to just be a documentary maker in the future. I've done a bit of that work as well. I've done a couple of boxing docs. I did one called Boxing's Purgatory. I did the Dave Allen one. And I was a second camera for Josh Taylor's BBC documentary as well, which was pretty cool. Because I was a big Josh Taylor fan. I was a massive Josh Taylor fan, actually. Because he grew up not far from where I'm from in Scotland. So yeah. But I'm going to get off in a sec, guys, because I need to get to bed to get up and do the actual fight live stream with you guys, which I'm really looking forward to. So let's just check the poll. For 291 votes, 84% of you think that Eubank is going to win, 12% Ben, 3% draw. But I really hope to see you all on the live for the fight. I've got a link in the description to buy the fight on DAZN. So if you do that, it really helps to support the channel. If you're going to buy it anyway, you get a week free trial of DAZN as well off the back of that. So yeah, I'd love it if you guys would do that for me. And then we can all watch it together. We get it on. You can follow my commentary if you want to. We'll all chat as a community in the chat. It's great fun. And I'm excited. If anyone wants to find out any of my picks or anything, I've done so many videos on this fight, but my most recent one is the prediction video. So if you want to go and find out my prediction, go and watch that. Mr. Granny, the fight. I think the main event ring walk is around 10 p.m. UK time. So yeah, finally, Henry, would you consider doing work with some Aussie fighters like Jar Pataya? Do you know what? So I potentially have to be in Queensland to do some work 2 days before Jar Pataya and Justice Huni all fight on a card on the Gold Coast. I would bloody love to do something on that card. I think that'd be great. Do some kind of behind the scenes thing or something. I tried DMing Tasman Fighters, but they didn't reply to me. If anybody watching this has a contact with Tasman Fighters or wants me to do something with them, maybe start DMing them and being like, this guy's in Australia, you should get him involved. Because I would be quite keen to go and do that. So yeah, but I might need to get flown out because I don't know what's going to happen with this work. So, but yeah, that would be cool. I would like to go and see those guys fight live. But I also very much enjoy just being here in the fight room. So that's it. Anyway, guys, I hope you're all good. I'm looking forward to the fight. And I really, really hope to see as many of you as possible on the live stream. So I'll probably go live a couple hours before the main event. So I'll see you all then. Cheers.